I was going to jump in right there and show off my chops a little bit, but Kelly Jackson already started the morning threatening to sing the news in an operatic voice, so I decided against that. We're about to talk to David Balustein, ABC entertainment editor, about some upcoming movies, and yes, Frankie Valli, Jersey Boys, also Think Like a Man 2. I always love it when I'm filling in for McGraw and we get to do a movie segment because I have little kids, and so if it isn't a Disney movie, I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen it. My daughter sings Frozen songs all day long. That's pretty much all I know. So at least I get to hear about the movies that I'm probably not going to have time to go get to. David Balustein, ABC entertainment editor. How the heck are you?
The heck, I'm good. Well, I mean, this begs the question, are you an Elsa or an Anna?
Oh, I think she's an Elsa.
No, I'm talking about you.
See, here's the funny thing. I haven't actually seen Frozen. My daughter's seen it 4 times. My wife's taken her 3 of the times, and then a friend. Frozen? I haven't seen it.
What kind of father are you?
My daughter can sing all the songs. She can draw all of them. She can tell me all about it. I have not yet seen the movie. It's this is my life.
You're going to have to rectify that this weekend. I mean, you need to. I have seen it 8 or 9 times.
No,
probably more.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, it's what my little girl loves.
How old is she?
She's 4.
She's 4. Well, my 7-year-old just Frozen is pretty much her life right now.
I think she's kind of past it. She still talks about it, but like she has seen since then. She's seen Tangled, and she really loves Tangled now.
Yeah, we did Tangled. Like we went through a Tangled phase like a year ago or something. I mean, it's always it's always something with little girls. Well, tell us about Jersey Boys. What is that going to take the summer by storm?
Jersey Boys is my favorite animated Disney film. Jersey Boys, unfortunately, it's probably not going to be a big hit. When I last looked a couple of days ago, it was tracking to make $13 or $14 million this weekend.
That's all?
They decided to make this a rated R movie, which makes it less accessible. Obviously, less people are going to be able to see this. And, it's a shame because, clearly it's a movie that's sort of by design aimed at people from that era who love Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And I think this is great for anybody to see. I don't care how old you are, what your gender is, what your race is. This is a movie that anyone can appreciate because you're talking about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Now, Jersey Boys is a Broadway show I've never seen. I never wanted to see it. I personally hated that era. It's like my parents' era. It's the music I sort of grew up listening to but didn't want to listen to. So I wanted nothing to do with that show. But now that I've seen this movie, I want to see the show. And the point that I was trying to make before I so rudely interrupted myself with another train of thought is that the music is infectious. The construction of these songs were brilliant. And it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to start tapping your feet. And the beauty of this is that the songs are seamlessly woven into the fabric of the script. So it's not, you don't have a disconcerting moment where somebody breaks out into a song randomly like they would in a musical and sing at a spot that you would never sing in real life. It makes sense when you see these songs happening. And the story's interesting. These were street kids from Newark, New Jersey, who ascended and to the top and got out of their various situations, but they had other situations within the group dynamic that made things complicated, and the mob had something to do with that as well. And it's a cool story. I would say I can nitpick. I mean, there are some. I have some problems with the narrative and the way the story is told, and I think that Clint Eastwood probably could have been a little more hands-on with some of the actors in this movie who aren't natural screen actors, because you have a couple of people in this movie like John Lloyd Young, who originated the role of Frankie Valli on Broadway, not a film actor, and it shows. And, but his voice is so good and he sounds like Frankie Valli that you forgive him for that. So ultimately, this movie aims to entertain, and it does. So 3.5 enthusiastic stars out of 5.
Thanks, David. I will probably put that on my list to get around to after Frozen, of course, because I tend to really enjoy Clint Eastwood directed films.
He does a fine job. My only problem with Clint Eastwood generally is, well, it's a strength, but it's a weakness because he tends to be hands off. He hires these great actors with excellent instincts, so he doesn't have to do a lot of directing with them. And I think he would admit that. But here, like a guy like John Lloyd Young, who does not have a lot of experience acting in front of a camera, really needed some help. Again, it's nitpicking. This is not going to be an Oscar-worthy movie anyway, and it's not an Oscar-worthy performance. And I would have liked to have seen him help him. But, then you have a Christopher Walken who obviously can make breathing compelling. And so you could wind up you can wind up Christopher Walken and let him go, and he's terrific. And Vincent Piazza, who plays Tommy DeVito, who ran the band, who, kind of helped put the Four Seasons together and is involved in some trouble and, is sort of a two-bit hustler and never gets out of that mold no matter how successful they become. He's terrific. He's from Boardwalk Empire, but, he's a guy who has had a lot of experience. So, that's my only complaint, but it doesn't take away from the bottom line of this film, which is that it's entertaining.
Real quick, David, we're talking to ABC Entertainment Editor David Blaustein here on the Big 550 KTRS. What other movies are on your radar screen this weekend that we should be looking at?
Well, I think a lot of people want to see Think Like a Man 2 because the first movie, Think Like a Man, was really a surprise hit and very entertaining and really a very funny film. It felt fresh. It felt different. This film, not so much. So incredibly forced. I love Kevin Hart, and I think he generally dominates in every movie he's in. He steals scenes. He is both the strength and the weakness of this movie. His character, Cedric, also narrates the film, and it's not necessary. It's like they try to pit this as a battle of the sexes, but it really felt like a battle of the screenwriters trying to figure out what to do to make this movie really enjoyable and cohesive, and it doesn't really work. The whole thing feels forced, despite the fact that this is a tremendously talented and gifted cast, and that kind of saves the movie from being a really terrible. I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 stars. I'm telling you that you should probably wait till it comes out on DVD or somebody lends it to you. You shouldn't really pay for it, but when you do see it, you will have a few laugh out loud moments. It's just not consistent enough.
Thanks, David. David Blaustein, ABC Entertainment Editor. Now that is a bad recommendation when he says you shouldn't pay for this movie. That's I think I'll stick with Jersey Boys and maybe allow my daughter to take me to Frozen
for the fifth time
for the fifth time for her. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully you've got a movie in your weekend. What's the last movie you saw, Kelly, that you really enjoyed?
Oh, I saw Chef, which was really good.
I have not seen that.
Oh my gosh, with I can't think of his name.
Some guy.
Let me think. Let me look it up really fast. Yes. I know we have time here. Hold on one second.
I'm sure it's a great movie.
I know it is. It's really good.
We're Googling. This is good radio. We're Googling. Everybody's Googling.
Hold on a second.
People are driving going, oh my gosh, how does she not know that name?
Jon Favreau.
Robert
Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson. It was really good.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. He's usually good. So, Jersey Boys, sounds like that one's worth seeing. Thanks, David. Appreciate the time. You're listening to Tony Messenger fill in for McGraw-Millhaven on the Big 550.